All right. I think we're live.
Oh my gosh.
2022, everybody! Woo!
We made it back.
We
It
lived,
was another
bitch.
year.
Yeah. Oh
The
my.
numbers just keep on ticking up.
Yeah. We keep getting older, but the years, for some reason, stay the same.
Imagine if you grew up in BC and the years were ticking down and you just didn't know why.
Wake up one New Year's Day to see, wait a minute, why is it suddenly 180?
Hold on a minute. What happened here? What'd you do with my calendar?
I always wondered what that C stood for, but now we have 2 new letters. Yeah, those people in China didn't know what was going on.
An alphabetical mystery.
Yeah.
So, what's this game, Quinn? What
So
are we looking at here?
I've got here Endless Legend. It's it's kind of old. It's actually from 2014. It's from the same studio that made Humankind, which is kind of like their newest iteration on that 4X genre. This was their first crack at what is essentially Civilization. They had a few other games in the 4X genre, but those were actually set in space. Actually, I think it was Endless Space, their 4X space game, then Endless Legend, their more conventional 4X game. Then they went back to space. And then they went
no end thing.
Yeah, and then they went back to Earth, where they finally got rid of the endless part and just made Humankind.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So if you remember anything from Humankind, you're probably going to see a few similar things here. Is Humankind would kind of just like the next iteration of the stuff they built up on in Endless Legend.
I see.
So first thing is first. Let me go ahead and just kind of give my high up opinion on this game so I don't get lost in the weeds as I'm trying to describe how everything works. I like this game more than I like Humankind. I think it handles the play between the different empires a lot more interestingly than the kind of different culture stuff you have in Humankind. And the look of it, I feel like it's just a lot better. They kind of go a lot more into this artistic setting.
I do like this weird fungus vine man we've got standing over here.
Yeah, I think the one part where the game really stumbles is let me go ahead and show you.
I like this guy's animations on the right.
Yeah, but here are the mushroom people, just to keep things consistent. I really like the sorry, I really don't like the combat in Endless Legend. If there's one thing they really improved upon when they got to Humankind was the combat, because it's a lot easier to understand and control. I'll show you how the combat works in here, but it's very much a fiddly thing where it's more like you're just guiding the units. You're not really giving them orders.
So unlike our characteristic societies, are we maybe going to try and make something very diplomatic so we can avoid combat?
Well, the problem is there's some things there are actually minor factions on each of those little kind of continents you have. They have the same thing in Humankind where the map is set up into different regions. And each region has native populations that you're just going to have to deal with one way or another. And for the most part, in the really early part of the game, the villages are just spawning units to mess with you. So we are going to have to dabble in combat. But yeah, I am hoping to avoid as much fighting as possible, if only because that is the clumsiest aspect of this game.
Okay.
So just to let everyone know what the game was at launch, you had, I believe, 8 factions to start out with when the game opened up in 2014, and that was the Vultures, who are the most basic of the factions. Like, this is the one everyone would start as because that allows you to kind of into just how to play the game. You have the Windwalkers, which are right next to the Vultures, but they have a few extra quirks that let them play a bit more asymmetrically. And so you essentially have humans, but techie. Then you have elves. Then you have ghosts, as these were. You have the Broken Lords, which were humans, but through their backstory became these kind of walking suits of armor that don't eat food. I'll get a bit more than we actually show up on the map, but they don't naturally grow like other populations. You have to make more of them by spending resources.
Okay. these ghosts are forged.
Yeah, and then you have the bug people, and these are definitely the aggressive. This is the aggressive faction. Like they are meant to spread all over the map with big armies and essentially just be a massive pain in your butt.
I like this. What I assume is a giant leaf poncho.
Yeah, no. If nothing else, they're stylish. And then you have the BDSM mages.
Ooh.
And their whole thing is
kind of
yeah, no, their settler is a guy chained to a rock. And here's something you may be noticing: each faction only has 4 unique units, and that's it. This is all they're building unless you actually assimilate minor factions on the map, which I'll get into when we start playing.
So you've only got your like unique units. There are no like generalist units that everyone uses.
Yep, no, you only have the units that are native to your faction unless you assimilate one of the minor factions that populate the map, and then that's how you can kind of grow things out. But even then, you're not building more than about 7 units in a whole game.
I see. Okay.
Then you have the roving clans, which their whole gimmick is all their cities can just pick up and move. Like, if you don't like where you are, either because of resources or there's a strategic disadvantage, you can go, okay, well, I'm out, packing everything up on a giant bug, and I'm moving out.
I just don't feel like living here no more.
Yep.
Dust bowl, smush bowl. I ain't moving to California.
And then you have the diplomatic dragons, which their unique thing is that once the game starts, they know everybody. Like, there's no stumbling on other civilizations on the map.
They're just these magic beings.
Yeah, no. They know where everyone is and everyone's capitals are, and they're meant to be the most diplomatic of the lot. So if you wanna see what kind of playing build alliances are, ooh, got a bit choked up there. This is actually what you want to play. And then
made you sick just talking about it.
Yeah. Then you have the cultist, and of all the factions, this is actually the one I like to play the most. One, because
I love this character over here, this little puppet dance.
Yeah, creepy mannequin character, and that's their whole thing. Like, every single one of them, like, their most advanced unit is an archer with 4 heads. And their whole thing is they can only build 1 city. So wherever you plant down your first city, that's it. And it wasn't until the fungus people came along that they were the only faction with that sort of hook. The Makara also came in here with their 1 city, but I hate the Makara. If only because I hate to play against the Makara, because their thing is we only have 1 city, but we can spread our fungus under the ground, and every sort of like strategic resource or luxury resource we can infect with our fungus and take it over. Even if it's in your territory, we're taking it.
Okay.
So if you're playing against them, you're just constantly having to defoliate.
Always got a fungal problem, huh?
Yeah. And so the cultists were the last faction that were native to the game. The Forgotten, the Elite, Ally, some of these I can't pronounce.
Alright.
Yeah, and then you have these guys. How do you think you pronounce them? Morgwar?
Morgar.
Yeah. There were another DLC faction, the Kupaku, which are lava golems.
Ooh.
And then the fungus. And so with each one of these factions, the Forgotten, of course, I think the Forgotten were the first ones. Each of the DLC the game got, another race got added to the game. Except for about, I think, 2 of them. So there are 8 DLC total. And there ended up being at least 5 extra factions added to the game. And each one came with its own thing. The Forgotten were added when they added spy mechanics. The Ali were added when they added special winter mechanics, which I'll go into more when we actually get into the game. The Morgwar were added when they added naval mechanics, because originally water was just in the way. Now you can actually build ships and sail.
Got, like, tentacles and stuff. He's a fisherman.
Yeah, most of their thing is, like, they still have to settle their cities on land, but most of their, like, 2 of their special units, the things you'd be building the most of, are naval. And then you have the Kapaku, which added the Dust Eclipses, which is another special event that happens in the game. And they're terraformers. They can only really build up on volcanic terrain, which we'll see more of. And then Makara are assholes. So just to give the more general picture of how the game plays, I am going to be going with the Vultures. But each different faction definitely leans towards a specific playstyle. And I wouldn't say it's asymmetric. Most of them are going to follow general strategies about building up and building armies. But this is definitely much more a bespoke way to play than Civilization, where all the civilizations have a gimmick, but they generally play the same. So let me see here. Let's keep it at 5. In fact, you know what?
A nice human blue for us.
Yeah, I'll go with blue for the Vaulters. We'll have 6 empires. That's the recommended amount on the map. I'll set them to random just so I don't know who I'm playing against. That's the most interesting.
Oh, yeah.
And let's go ahead and start.
Let's see what you got.
And while we're waiting, thank you, Regis Aquila, for the 60-month resub. 5 years of sub. Thank you for your 5 years of
5
subbage.
years, daggone.
And then I think I saw...
We're sending your sub to kindergarten.
Wow, yeah. Your sub baby's all grown up. King of Isis, thank you for the 21-month resub. Talon of the Dragon, thank you for your 355 hype train bits.
Spoke of a great journey beneath the stars.
Chugga, chugga, chugga.
Safe in our halls and minds, we ignored these old tales. But then the Great Quake cracked our halls open, revealing
That Great
ancient
Quake
secrets
just
and
cracking
relics.
things open.
These unknown relics.
And so
carry
all
our
the
power,
factions have these
our
unique
images,
intros and also storylines
of
that
hidden past.
cover, why they're
took them
emerging from
and
wherever they
fled
are
the
emerging
destruction,
and building up their
seeking a new
civilizations up
life from
again.
the surface.
For the Vaulters,
Now
yeah,
the legends
Earth
and
shook,
relics of
broke
our
their
past
homes.
show the way to our
We're on the
future.
move.
Our vaults! We can no longer vault!
Yeah, I know,
The
it's
journey will be
Fallout, but
dangerous.
fantasy version.
Sometimes deadly, but we go forth without fear or
I like their
ignorance.
crossbows.
For courage and knowledge are the bywords of the Vaulters.
They keep saying I should wear earmuffs. It's cold out, but I don't feel it.
And I like that effect,
Oh,
too.
see, that looks way less wintry.
Yeah, so you'll see in a few turns. But also, Talon of the Dragon, thank you for the 41-month sub. Roxygis666, thank you for the 33-month resub. Happy New Year, TFS. Looking forward to whatever you got coming down the pipe. We've got stuff coming down that pipe. That pipe is full of stuff.
Rocketing down the old pipes.
Then I Heart Catch Up, thank you for the 59-month sub with the long neck missed steak. And Rise Elucida, thank you for the Prime sub. Whoops! And when I'm scrolling down in chat, I'm scrolling out of the map.
Look how tiny our little settlement is.
Oh, we don't even
So
have the
much map to discover.
So just like Civilization, we don't start out with a city, but we do start out with a settler
Our
unit.
tiny vision cone.
Actually, I'm liking what we've got right now. So each little bit of terrain provides its own little yield. This should look
Okay, there
imminently
we
familiar.
go.
Yeah.
I understand what those mean.
So
We got some food and production on here. Maybe some science.
I'm thinking actually just a little bit further south would be a good spot to set up.
What's
right?
the little gold glowy? What is that?
Those are ruins, and what you'll see here, in fact, probably a good idea to start here before we
Like
move
a
away.
tribal village equivalent, or
Kinda. Like, instead of moving over it and taking whatever's there and it disappears, it sticks around. But you can search it to pull stuff out of it. So let's go ahead and set up our little city down here. And set up our Founders Memorial. And you know what? Let's start getting some wine in here to celebrate our new
hell
city.
yeah.
So
Happy
a lot
New
like
Year.
Masters of Orion, you actually get to control what the population in your city is focusing on. So we only have one pop, and I'm gonna have it get food, so we can get more people and
can
start
make more
putting them to
people.
work
Yeah.
elsewhere.
Understandable.
And so this is where actually the Broken Lords would come in, where they don't have this. You would actually have to spend dust, the money mechanic in this game, to get more people and start plopping them down. In fact, they don't even get to heal. Their armies don't heal unless you spend money to do it.
We don't need to get too lost in the weeds on them, but I'm assuming they're like more powerful units or something or whatever, or like they can do more with less pop, so it is like...
I don't know like the hard numbers, but the general mechanic is if you're able to put them down where you can just like rake in the dough, they're pretty hard to stop because
Okay,
they can.
like you get a good money economy going. Now they've got people to fuel whatever they've got.
Yeah, they're hard to burn down with attrition because you can get into a fight with them, weaken their units, and it can be next turn they're all back to normal.
Let's see.
Nope. And then I got to set up technology. And so the technology in this place isn't a tree. You just have certain technologies blocked off by era. So you have to research a certain number of technologies here before this era unlocks, and so on and so forth.
I learned early math and how to breed animals, so now I think I can figure out the wheel.
Yeah, so let's see here. We're on a river, so it would be good to harvest more money by putting filters into the river. So the thing about dust, and I don't want to get too much into the lore here, but dust isn't just like gold flakes. It is a substance more akin to spice from Dune, where it has special properties. And in fact, your hero units and your faction leader are kind of people who have been exposed to the dust in such a way that they're essentially immortal. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So let's see. I definitely want more of that. And then I want to make sure our production goes up. Oh, actually, nope. Hold on. I forgot. The most important thing to do is get a language square, because then you can talk to the minor factions and make them work for you.
We can't talk to each other.
Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and have that be our setup, so I won't have to worry about teching for a while. I think that's it. Whoops. And so this is where you get the faction quest coming in. I don't know if I want to waste too much time reading the story, but essentially for the Vaulters, they have a robot. They found a robot in their vault when it broke open.
Hell
So they're
yeah,
kind
Danger
of
Will Robinson.
So the whole thing with the Vultures is that they're rediscovering that they are not native to this planet. They actually came here, they colonized this planet ages ago, and this is kind of them rediscovering their history, finding this robot, which is haunted by PTSD because he used to be a medical bot, but he had to fix up so many people. He broke and then started killing people.
The patients. There were too many patients.
Yeah, so he's dealing with a lot of stuff, and the story, as the story goes on, you'll learn more and more about both the faction and Opbot, which became the fan favorite. Yeah, and so sometimes you can search ruins and find nothing, which is always
boring
fun.
Ruin. At least we could use it for shelter, right?
No, we have Dardogar now. I hate that name. Let's rename the city. First sub to give me a name for a city that isn't terrible, and I'll take it.
All right. The world is in your hands, chat. You're on the stage now. It's you who performs for us. I'll just keep vamping until someone gives a name. Don't you worry.
And speaking of subs, we have Vamp Planet coming in and giving 10 gift subs. Woo! All right, I like that one. Iacon.
Iacon it is.
It helps out because actually I did not show you, but the ultimate quote unquote unit, it's like it's the Tech 2 unit, but it's the final unit the Vultures get, is actually a giant robot. I wish I could make the image better, but I actually have to research the unit before I could pull it up. Oh, and silly me, forgot to mention. One of the cool things about this is that you get to actually, so you have a template, and you only have the 4 for the units, but we can actually equip them with different stuff. So for example, I could put a crossbow and a shield on this guy, so he's kind of like he's a ranged unit, but at least has good defense if anything attacks him. Or I could put just a bow on him, sacrificing defense for pure offense. And
range and damage.
Actually, does that change? Oh yeah, so he'd actually be a better unit against flying units if I gave him that instead of this. But I'm a bit basic, so I'll leave him as is, because the more stuff you put on him, the more industry you have to spend to make him, and thus harder it is to make him in the early game.
Gotcha. Okay, I think I'm picking up what this is mostly putting down so far.
And so the early game at this point is just wandering around looking for ruins or minor factions to assimilate or conquer. So it's not
a good explore phase.
Yeah, it's not too busy. Oh, another thing that I like to somewhat complain about, the commands you give these units are actually sticky. So I could tell this person right now, okay, go auto explore, and they'll just move around on their own. But if I find something interesting, you'd think all I'd have to do is click on the unit and right click on where I want them to go. Oh, no, because the auto explore command is still active. So that order will stick. But then they'll just go wherever they want. So you actually have to turn it off.
get rid of that order.
Yeah, you have to actually turn it off before they stop doing that. Which is just a little bit of a quality of life thing you wished they'd fix, but they never did.
Odd choice for sure.
So I think the first thing I want to do is look around our region here to see if I can't find the minor faction that lives here. And that isn't the one that lives in this area, but Hydras, or Eryxes, live in the next place over.
Eryxes.
And so this is actually how you build up your faction to include different kinds of units. For example, the Vaulters have this ranged unit, and then if we go down the research tree, we can get a cavalry unit and then an infantry unit down here. But there's also support units and flying units we just don't have access to unless we find their minor factions here on the map and assimilate them.
Okay.
So we're probably...
essentially there's going to be so minor factions, are they factions like that a player could have been but wasn't? Or are these...
you're never going to be able to start the game as one of these guys. They're always going to be either on the map or wandering around.
Are we all, are all the players pulling from the same pool of minor factions? Like, if we find something, can a guy on the other side of the map find it? Or is it, local to us?
They're only local to each region. But, for example, we found the orcs up here in our region, but that does not mean that another region cannot also have orc villages in it. So we could run into another faction that has also assimilated orcs.
So they're essentially, not to degrade them and to deny them life and agency, but they're essentially resources, and we can make specific units out of a resource.
Kind of. I mean, to me, they're just ways you can make your units a bit more bespoke to kind of patch up any gaps you have in your civilization starting units.
So I take it the orcs and these hydras probably don't have flying units, so we still do not have access to
correct.
Flying units.
Each minor faction only makes one unit, and you see they only pop up when that thing pops up, and I've dismissed it. But you have the hydras over here only make the one infantry unit. The orcs only make one ranged unit.
Okay. Now, could we make units out of both, or are we going to have to eventually pick a minor faction to alliance with?
So you can. There are different levels here. So right now, I can either attack them, and if I win the battle, I destroy the village. But I can rebuild it if I want to invest the industry and time it would take to rebuild the village. And once it's rebuilt, the village is pacified, meaning it will provide one extra population to the city that I can use how I see fit. And then
superior force, got it.
Yeah, and then if I want, I can assimilate them. And then that's when they get slotted in here. We have an extra ability for having assimilated that faction, and then we can produce that unit. So you can pacify as many villages as you want, because once they're pacified, they're no longer churning out random armies to annoy you.
Right.
But you can only assimilate a certain number of factions, and we only have
only the assimilated ones are units you can make?
Yes.
Okay.
And at the start of the game, we only have one slot. I think you have a maximum of 3, unless you're unless you're the cult, because they get extra assimilation. So, because I researched the language square, I will actually parlay. And what parlay does is that it spares you the fight, but gives you a quest, where if you complete it...
Orcs don't like a human.
And if we complete the quest, the village is pacified. So let's see. To pacify this village... the tribe has informed you their kidnapped brothers are somewhere in a nearby region called Melentor. Locate the village on the... And so we end up destroying another village to pacify this village, because that's the quest they gave us.
Now, could we accept this quest, meet this other village, and be like, actually, we like them more, come back and kill the orcs?
Yeah, no, because I chose to parlay, I automatically accepted the quest. But if I ran into that village, I could go up to it and say, bribe it.
To attack or...
Yeah, it's just, if I'd come back, I could come back here and just either bribe them or kill them, and I would fail the quest, but the end result would be pacifying the village anyway.
Gotcha.
Oh, it looks like the hero unit leveled up, so... Hero unit gets a skill tree.
Okay.
Another little extra detail. I always go for the kind of first common ability because that increases the likelihood that the ruins I have this hero search aren't empty, which for the early game is the best way to get extra money or extra resources. Research is going apace.
Making sure you get something. I'm going to equate everything in my brain to Civ stuff. So making sure you get something out of these tribal villages, basically.
Yeah. So who did we have down here? Okay, so so this must be Melantor. All right, so
the enemy.
This isn't the village. This is the they could be
this is the region.
Yeah, this is the right region, but that isn't the right village. The village we're looking for is going to have like the little glowing rays of dust over it, which is a nice way to see when something is associated with a quest.
Okay.
And so it looks like we were somewhat unlucky to only have one minor faction village in our region. You can have up to 3, and the benefit is if you parlay with a minor faction village in a region, if you complete that quest, all the minor faction villages are pacified. But if you attacked them, you'd have to attack each individual village to pacify them.
Minor faction, kind of like a combo barbarian encampment / city-state.
I think that's actually the best way to analogize it. Would be, yeah, it stands to be a threat until you either until you pacify.
Barbarian camp that when you beat it becomes a city-state or your own.
Yeah, I was trying to kind of bring in the DLC pack where it kind of like turned barbarians into you can deal with them a bit better and turn them into city-states.
Also, thank you, Mated and Lord Archive, for the subs. 31 months and 33 months, respectively. Thank you very much.
There we go. See, that's how you tell that that's the village we need to destroy.
Alrighty.
And I'll go ahead and take that, and once we fight it, I'll take that opportunity to show you how bad combat is.
Whoa, don't get me too excited now.
Alright, keep that manual. We'll do offensive. So this is where things should look a little bit familiar if you remember how Humankind played. We have this initial phase where we can set up where we want our units to go. And since all of our units are ranged, setting them up here on the high ground is probably the best call. So I'll go ahead and accept that. And so now this is the only sort of input we have on the combat, is just telling our units either where to move or who to attack. And it looks like the game has already decided that all these units should attack one unit. I don't feel like I want to disagree with that, so...
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, and so now it's just, get a drink, walk away. The game is now playing itself.
They were also ranged.
And so here's why you also may want another ranged unit in your army, is that even though we have our own ranged units, these orcs seem to have better initiative, which means they can act sooner in the turn order. And the game has already decided to do what I think is most logical, so just have the game play itself.
Focus one unit, focus the next one. Little bar over us is health, I presume.
Yeah, the little bar that keeps going down is their health bar. And you actually see down here what the attack success odds are and how much damage they do, but it goes by so fast that you can't really have much input on it. So yeah, no, I think Amplitude, the studio that made this, made a right call when they kind of took the general idea of this, but gave you much more specific control over units. I feel like, because I auto-resolve almost every single fight. Because there's no point. It does
seem like you have very little impact on it.
Yeah. Alright, so now I have to go back to these guys and tell them, hey, the people you don't like are dead. And then thou shalt pacify them.
They'll be like, yes, now our only natural predator is gone. We'll destroy you!
And you'll have just as much luck as that other village you had us destroy was.
Oh wait, that's right. You were strong enough to destroy the thing we couldn't destroy. That probably makes you stronger.
And so another aspect about the cities is that you don't just have this plot of land. A lot like Civ, you can build out. But instead of building specialty districts, for the most part, you're only building these borough streets, which are just extra neighborhoods that allow you to exploit other tiles surrounding your city. So I think for this one, I'd like to get out to these two special areas. So I'll go ahead and plop one down here. And you can only build so many as your population allows. I think it's 1 borough street district for every 2 population you have. But we have to finish for that. We have to wait for that one to finish before we can build a new one. And depending on how you arrange the other districts in your city, you will have the center district or the district that's surrounded by the most districts level up. So as you can see, our city center is currently level 1, but it will upgrade to level 2 when surrounded by 4 level 1 districts, and that will actually improve the resources it's exploiting from its own tile.
Okay. So basically, the more stuff you put around your capital, the stronger it's going to be.
Yeah. And depending on how well this game goes, I can load another game I'm playing to kind of show what more advanced cities look like and what later stages of the game look like without us having to deal with multiple sessions. Oh, and the Empire plan's coming up. Another little quirk of the game. She's a rebel. Thank you for the 18-month resub. Hello, everyone.
Yo.
Hashtag TFS rocks.
Thank you.
Alright, we've pacified them and got some extra luxury resources out of the deal.
Some Titan bones.
Yeah, so luxury resources are several... How to best analogize it? It's a lot like luxury resources from Civilization, but as you can see, these yellow boxes, I can actually exploit the resource, meaning I get a boost to my, depending on the resource, as you can see, if I use the dye here, I get extra influence, or if I use this gold, I get extra money, or if I use these Titan bones, I get extra industry. I like all of that, and we're a very small civilization right now, so I'll just go ahead and have all that be boosted.
Get that boost.
Everyone grind up these Titan bones. They're good for you.
Make our bread with these Titan bones. Fee-fi-fo food.
And so one of the ways I think kind of your expansion plans would differ than if you were playing Civilization is that you're probably not going to have nearly as many cities in the mid to late game as you would have in Civilization, because while you need a city to claim a region, and it's whatever resources it has on it, the more cities you have, the more your approval rating goes down. So you would have to kind of strategically decide what city is worth settling and, you know, taking the hit on, while also exploiting the tiles, which I like better. I mean, I always get antsy when I'm playing Civilization. It's like, oh look, there's some copper, but it's like two hexes outside my city's maximum range. I guess I have to plop down another city there.
Nah, yeah, I can get that.
Looks like this ruins actually has provided us a quest, where we have to come back here with some resources, but in return we get a specialty weapon for our hero. But I don't have those resources, so I guess we're going about. Oh, and Welsh93, thank you for the 58-month resub. Hi, Grant and Quinn, how are my two favorite rulers?
Doing okay.
Yep, just getting off that New Year's high. Did you do anything special New Year's Eve?
Get high on New Year's. My New Year's was actually pretty low key, to be honest. Hung out and just played some Mario Party with my siblings. But we had a couple drinks and watched the ball drop while we did it.
Yeah, aside from turning on the Reunion Towers Fireworks Festival, I didn't really do much on my end either. Alright, so Empire Plan. As you can see, as time goes on, more and more stuff will be enabled, but what you do here is you actually spend the influence you've been getting in the meantime to increase certain aspects of your empire. I usually end up going for what gives me more science and more money production, but you could make your units easier to produce in your cities. You can increase the vision on your units for scouting purposes. It all just depends on how much influence you have to spend.
Okay.
But the price does go up. Like, it's not going to be 20 influence for that perk. It's going to be closer to like 40 or 60. So you always have to make sure your influence production scales with your civilization. Blaster Master Guy asking if we're going to be doing a Nuzlocke of Diamond or Pearl. That's definitely not in the plans for this year.
No plans, at least.
Yeah.
At present. I would say do not be on the lookout for it.
Oh, you know what? We may have lucked out here because actually 2 different strategic resources have deposits in this region. Usually you're lucky to have 1. That's nice.
We've got some resources, baby. I like these really, I don't know, angular rivers.
I mean, I like the whole
down.
I like the whole map aesthetic where the elevation, where it's all kind of blocky. It's almost like you're looking at a carven map on a table. One of the armies roaming in Masurum has the treasure I seek. Well, where is Masurum? Oh, up here.
Oh, to the north.
Let's go back.
The Masurum Riders.
There's booty in that region. I think if production in here is going to start winding down, I may want to have it produce a few more units. Scout around for me. Oh, there they are. Yeah, and so if the odds on this battle look good, I'm just going to have it auto-resolve because, no. We've got things to do.
Hey, why put in that effort when the game will do it for you?
Now, don't run away from us.
No, I want to be over here.
Okay, so that's even odds. Let's see how that goes. Oh, they're dead, but we lost a Marine.
Oh no! Victory, but at what cost?
I'm going to be a bit lazy here and just have this gal wander around and see what happens. We could assimilate those orcs if we wanted to. But that is just another ranged unit, which we already have.
Yeah, that seems redundant to me.
Yeah, honestly, I'd like the Hydras over here. And there are at least 2 villages. So actually, you know what? Change my mind. Go talk to them, see what they want.
Let's see what they're after.
And so the problem is these quests sometimes are just really hard to complete. I remember a few times I had a quest where it's like, make peace or make war with an enemy. And it's like, I haven't even met another civilization yet. And it has to be within a specific amount of time. Oh, okay. Return to this village with an army that contains a minimum of 3 minor faction units. We can't do that until we assimilate a minor faction. So how about we just bribe you? Oh, I think I may have broke the game there. Oh wait, no, they accepted the bribe, but they still want the quest. Go back over here. We'll work on that.
Still like to see a cool menagerie.
A menagerie. That's what we call other people that.
See, I assume the minor factions are just, you know, they think they're people.
So another little bit of the lore here is that this whole planet, Auriga, is actually, it's a laboratory. The Endless, the Endless that give this entire universe its name, were actually an ancient species that were so advanced they eventually split over the idea of whether they should continue their existence as kind of just supreme beings of the material or ascend to a more digital or energy existence, the virtual and concrete Endless. And their civil war ended up scarring the galaxy and apparently just deleting their species, but a lot of their works get left behind, one of them being Auriga, which is why you have like so many alien species all living together. They were all brought here by the Endless to...
We're like a little alien petri dish.
Yeah, pretty much, just to see how they all interacted with each other. Didn't go too well. For reasons I'll explain as the game progresses.
Ooh. Thanks, Vamp Planet, for gifting 12 months of subbage to Audio Dragons 51.
Oh, and Tucker White, thank you for the 16-month resub. What the hell is wrong with you? There's nothing wrong with you. You're perfect just the way you are.
Nothing.
Yeah, so now that I've bribed both the villages, the pacification becomes redundant, so I failed the quest, but I don't care. Especially since that was going to be really hard to do. Let's go ahead and activate that booster, because I think upon activating it, nothing happens? Really? So these little things you have next to the eras are legendary deeds, which are things you can do to get an extra little boost. I thought this one was be the first to gather at least 30 units of one luxury resource. Okay, that's where I messed up. I haven't gotten 30 of one. But if I complete that deed, I get an extra like tech.
Done at a reasonable price.
I don't think they were surprised when all hell broke loose. It was actually probably what they wanted.
We'll put a bunch of different aliens in a pen and look at them as they get along.
Yeah, very much a zoo with no cages. Aside from the planet. So, Return of the Urkon. So this is where the Mycara DLC comes in, because whether you have the Mycara playing or not, a natural aspect of the world is that 3, essentially legendary beasts, since we're on a little bit of a Pokemon bent, emerge in the world, and by default, they just pop up and sit there churning out enemy armies and just kind of being a bit of a nuisance. But if you have enough of a
legendary of you.
Yeah, if you have enough of a legendary luxury resource, you can tame them and use them to exploit regions without having to settle a city there. And also you can use them as super powerful units.
That's neat. We can tame our legendary animals, basically?
Yeah, in fact, actually, one of the little... Oh, looks like we actually got 2 factions that just colonized to our south.
Uh-oh.
Looks like this continent's going to be a bit busy.
Our southern neighbors.
So the one thing that happens when an Urkon emerges is that actually you can see where it is on the map. It pops up and has its own line of sight. It looks like one hasn't actually popped up yet. It's just now that we know the Urkon event, it's happening. Is this the new Civ? It's actually the old Civ. This is a what is it? I guess it's 8 years old now.
Yeah, you said this was 2014.
Yeah, 2014.
Did like something come out, or were you just in a vibe to play it?
This is actually one of my more favorite 4X games to return to, especially since Humankind still seems to have a lot of its own problems. Because I just like what Amplitude Studios makes. This is the best version of the stuff they've made so far.
I see.
I thought I had enough. What was the... 8 titanium and 8 of glass steel. Oh, with a Delvers unit. Great. Haven't even met the Delvers yet.
The Delvers?
They're essentially dwarves, but they're edgy. They wear skulls.
I feel like I could have guessed they were dwarves by their names. Doesn't seem like a stretch. They delve into caves, I assume.
Yeah, the minor faction villages, as you notice, are unique depending on the faction. The Delvers unit is just a giant pit in the ground.
Okay. I think I can get behind that. Like our little hero just, patrolling the area, seeing what's up.
Yeah, unfortunately, after we lost that Marine unit, we can't even... I don't think we can take out that 3-unit army that was over there, which is what I was thinking I wanted to do, but... Okay, 3 more turns until that's fixed. Let's see if we can't boost production a bit. Alright, Urkon emerges. There we go. Fekir.
Look at it. Oh. Excuse me, sir. Thought we were playing nice here.
I'm not the one that named him. I'm not even sure that Mycara named it. Well, He's far away, so taming him is gonna be hard to do.
Yeah, that's a bit of a trip. But you know, the journey of 1,000,000 miles starts with one. Start walking over there. We'll figure it out by the time we get there.
I don't think we can swim, which is probably the bigger
centaurs?
problem. Yeah, no, that was one of the. I think that was one of the treasure armies that popped up after that ruins we looked at. So another thing with the vaulters is that they can actually not only use luxury resources to do special things, but they can also spend strategic resources to do special stuff. So we could spend glass steel to boost our money income, or use titanium to boost our science income. However, I do want to save these because they're strategic resources. You need them to do other stuff with.
You can use them for things, yeah.
In fact, I think I'm going to set
They have
up
a strategic purpose, if you will.
I think I'm going to set up production of the best, the closest thing you would call wonders in this game right now. Yeah, go ahead. I'll buy that, but you go away.
Space Marine.
Alright, I think that'll work. Oh, alright, new research era. Age of Glory.
Well, it's coming. Pretty presumptuous, calling it the Age of Glory already. Kind of just started, guys.
Oh yeah, you should see the later ages. I do like the artwork too. Like, you can actually tell as technology progresses, it becomes like, oh, so you have like medieval Renaissance era in this one, and then number 3 is definitely closer to industrial. Number 4 is where you get a bit more mythic. And then I think 5 is where it actually looks like the apocalypse happens, so technology starts backsliding. Alright, so one more turn for our Marine. So I'll wait. Alright, get together. Let's go kill some centaurs.
Let's do it. It's the Age of Glory, damn it. We don't have glory if we aren't killing centaurs. My grandpappy said the only good centaur is a dead centaur.
And just do that for us.
Yeah, you know what?
Now you're dead. Haha. Oh, actually, you know what? I just realized. I'm pretty sure... Oh, I thought I could rename the hero units. That's disappointing. Can I really not? Hold on. Academy... yeah, it's the same thing. Alright, Petrov Judit.
Petrov.
I was gonna name you Vamp Planet, but nope.
Can't be done. No, it was in our heart, Vamp Planet.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for all the subs. I was gonna name a person after you, but game
So I'm
wouldn't let
guessing
me.
cities are maybe the only thing we really have.
Yeah.
Power in.
As you can see, actually, when you rename the city, you rename the region it's on. Maybe... Can I rename the army? Maybe. Okay, yeah, I can rename the army. So let's call this the First Vampiric Legion. What? Really?
Vampire 1.
Can I fit Vamp Legion? Yeah, there we go. The First Vamp Legion.
First Vamp. You don't want to see what happens when First Vamp gets on the scene.
Can we name structures? I think that's out of the question. It may just be armies and cities.
Kind of like this.
Oh, okay. Now hold on. These are interesting guys. Got Yetis down here.
Ooh. We could tame our cool
No,
ice.
they're already
State
dead.
of Tooth.
Someone
What?
killed them. That's what the skull is. I guess we'll find.
I love them.
I guess we find out. I guess we'll find out what our southern neighbors are, since they apparently are jerks enough to murder the Yetis.
These snowmen were
Oh, jeez.
absolutely abominable.
That's too... it's the elves!
Oh, it's this guy. You can tell he's a racist. Just look at him.
Oddly enough, yeah, you're not wrong. The art does good work there, conveying just the dicks these elves are. The whole
You call them Yeti, I call them Icky.
Yeah, so the Amplitude likes having kind of fantasy tropes they add a twist to. The whole thing about these, I think they're wild walkers, is a part of their natural process is they turn into giant tree golems.
Okay.
Like they go kind of feral, and they get tree golemy.
You will soon see. All right, already. Trailer shot. Wood elf transforming into tree as like the trailer's like kind of doing that cool dramatic cutting in and out, and then you just hear the "Soon you'll see my bark is worse than my bite." Endless Legends theaters this summer.
I forget what their marketing looked like. Because I remember the Wild Walkers were one of the first factions they were promoting. They might have done that.
There you go. Boom. Get me on your marketing team. I'll come up with a trailer for your idea right away.
Oh, here we go. Winter started. So that's the big hook that's come with this game, is that it has summer and winter, and as the game goes on, winter comes around and sticks around for a lot longer. Pretty much where you have the inverse of how the game started, with long winters, short summers. Because the planet is just generally freezing to death. If you find this planet in the endless space games, you see it as an ice planet that is frozen over, and everyone on it has died. So
it's a cool place with cold things going on.
Yeah, so the whole thing about Endless Legend is that most of the factions are finding out that the planet is fucked, and they need to try and survive.
Just chill, man. Going for a nice balanced approach.
Yeah. And so the thing about winter is it just generally sucks. Your cities aren't as productive unless you take a quiet you.
I already don't like this guy.
Yeah, your cities are just generally less productive. Units are slower. They see less. It's just not a good time.
Everyone's got
But what was added when the Ally were added as a faction were these pearls that pop up. They only pop up during the winter unless you're the Ally, because then they can just see pearls always. And they're a very special resource because they let you get these special winter blessings, or blessings are Ariga. And some of them are actually ways to prevent winter being particularly costly on your units and cities. For example, the Winter Burrow. If you save up enough pearls to unlock the blessing, you can then spend pearls on building these special buildings which prevent your cities from having worse tiles during winter. The Vultures also have
winter tech.
Yeah, and the Vultures also have special stuff because their whole shtick was hiding underground to protect ourselves from winter.
See, we had our big underground structure, the Great Quake happened and popped us out of the earth, and we saw things were pretty mild, and we were like, hey, you know what, maybe we were wrong. Maybe everything was fine surface side, and then all of a sudden the winter came crashing down, and all the elders couldn't stop going on about how they knew this is what was going to happen.
What's the Vulture version of a boomer?
Oh, you're,
Okay, Elder.
Yeah, first gen underground. top side native.
Spacer.
Yeah.
You and your flying through the stars stories.
A terrestrial, huh? See, they boomed into the vault. A topper, a spacer.
The problem with Topper is that Bottomer is the immediate contrapoint, and I feel like that's
and? You got a problem with that?
I mean,
What else could it mean?
I don't want to call the younger generation bottomers. I feel like that's asking for trouble.
You're either a topper or a dweller. Well, you see, we got toppers. But then there were the people who went underground specifically to breed, and we just started calling them breeders. And well,
ah, damn, it's a trap either way.
no, I got nothing.
Ooh, that's a big one. That's a big pearl.
Woo!
Let's go grab that.
That's a pearl you could clutch right there.
Yeah, no, you go over here and grab that, but then afterward you're gonna go grab that. Oh,
Crush
don't bother.
them.
Yeah, die. Just go away. No, 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 get the pearl.
That precious pearls.
Pathfinding's not exactly easy. Oh, where? Okay, good. That's on the way. We'll go.
God blimey, the biggest pearl I ever did see.
All right. Who wants to give me another city name?
Oh, I don't have a list open, so that means first come, first serve. I can talk today.
Yeah, no. If a sub wants to give me a name and I like it, I'll take it.
Oh boy.
Town of the Dragon with Vault City. Jubberwocky with Locked Tomb. Topper City. No.
I don't know. Ode to Joy isn't subbed, otherwise I would fight for it.
Bottomburg. You're not subbed. No. Bad. I like Bottoms Up.
Ooh, there we go. Got a winner in my heart.
I think I want to go with Grizzlark. Call me a sucker for something that at least sounds fantasy, but it's not. I can't go with Bottomsville. How would these people feel if their whole region was called Bottomsville?
Great. I hear Grizzlark and I just think it's someone. Like, wasn't the dad on Christmas Vacation was Clark Griswold, right? So it's just a weird fusion of his name backwards.
I'm crying. I would move to Die Trying World gave us seat and a sub to Bottomsville.
Yes.
Remember what I said about not being able to found many cities? Well,
And yeah.
that's my protection.
You guys are giving us too many good names. We're only gonna found like a handful of cities. They're using the rear entrance to Bottomsville. Who'd have thought?
There is only one entrance to Bottomsville. The back door. The Museum of Ariga. So yeah, essentially the game comes with 5 wonders, and it's always going to be a race to build them, because you get 1 wonder each era, and it counts as a legendary deed. Yeah, here it is.
You've done a legendary deed by building a legendary building.
And just like the city center, if you build enough districts around it, it levels up, and the gifts it gives you also increase.
Okay, I like that. That's something I wish Civ did more often.
Yeah, that's why the cultist faction actually kind of shines if they get a good region. Is that
because you've got one city? So
yeah, no. At the end of the game, you'll find their region, and it's just covered in districts because they've exploited every single tile. And so, anyone curious about the game, it is on Steam for $30. The one caveat is it has 8 packs of DLC to go along with it, and if you wanted to play every single faction in the game, as well as have all the story content, you might be out closer to $100. So, personally, the base game I think is worth the $30, but to get all of the DLC, I would wait for a sale, because most of it is so old that every time it goes on sale, you get probably like a 75% discount. Yeah. I think it was 75% off during the winter sale, which just ended. So,
hey,
womp womp.
Watch this a couple of weeks ago and get ready.
Yeah, it's the Stellaris Crusader King's problem where, yeah, I forgot about that quest. Crap, and I was just dancing around that. I was too busy on the pearls.
I wanted me pearls.
I gotta clutch those pearls. How open are the elves to sharing maps, maybe? Oh, I can't even do that yet?
Your cartography is not exquisite enough for my people.
Alright then. Might as well, let's, after we get that pearl, I'll see who's down here.
Filthy.
Gotta start learning who our neighbors are. Gotta start assimilating too. I'll assimilate the Hydras, they look cool.
Yes!
And that'll finally finish our first faction quest, which was to get friends.
You'll find no thicker friends than,
Snake people.
Hydras. Yeah. There's one thing you can trust, it's a snake. Always. Nothing in history has ever portrayed them as dishonest or anything short of the best of friends.
Especially the ones with lots of heads. They're the best kind.
This creature can literally talk out of both sides of its mouth.
Oh,
and
and
still be your friend.
As I was saying, now we can actually edit these guys, so you can actually get a good look at the unit.
Ooh!
Yeah. What's going on up here with this one?
That one just, he's
Is he
the
sleeping
dreamer.
or
He's always
something?
got his head in the clouds.
Yeah, hold on. Can I get a better look of it if I put it down here? Yeah, that one I think is kind of is either taking a nap or drunk. It's very much it's like King Ghidorah, where you have the one derpy head.
Look, there's only so much brains to go around for every head. So I wasn't really looking at like any sort of numbers for their unit. What makes them cool? Do they have a fun gimmick? Do they have a...
For these guys, their most notable thing is that actually when they attack a unit, they also attack any units immediately adjacent to it because of their head. Like their whole attack animation is
cool.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, their heads start just attacking everything nearby.
That's cool.
Which does make them notably different than our Navalter's only infantry unit, which just is the big robot. So I think that is enough of the distinction for me to go, yeah, no, let's take them. All right, who we got over here? Looks like the roving clans with their big bug. Yeah, so that's actually the bug they pack up and live on when they're settling.
When they decide they don't like their home anymore.
Yeah.
Also, I like Volt King's explanation for our weird Hydra head. Well, one head needs to rest during the day to cover the night shift when the rest of them sleep.
So, the interesting thing about the roving clans on top of their nomadic cities is that they can actually prevent us from accessing the market. Like, we wouldn't be able to purchase any of this.
They can blacklist us?
Yeah, no, they can blacklist us from the market just on their own initiative, and we have to come back to them hat in hand saying, can you let us back in, please?
So going to war may get you out of some trade deal.
Yeah, no, so they have the economic power on their side. Oh, and right now it looks like it's a dust eclipse, which is that kind of special time between summer and winter when the ruins open back up, and
when people fall in love. That's special time.
Yeah. They're little things that also float on the map, where if you move your army over them, they get a boost for as long as the eclipse lasts.
They call it an inspiration.
You know what? Yeah, we have plenty of titanium and glass steel. Oh, I forgot I can only activate one of those at a time. Whoopsie.
Welsh brings up a good point. What if we conquer these nomads? Then we make them let us in the market.
If you eliminate the faction, they can't lock you out of the marketplace.
There you go.
That's definitely their weakness, is that they put a big target on their
Can't
back.
keep me out the door if I kill the doorman market. I do like this map, like, aesthetic quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm building out Grizzlark here so I can actually start building some naval units and show you the little extra bits they added when they brought kind of naval play into the game. Because all the naval units, aside from the special fishy face faction, all the boats are the same. You can actually see them here. You have the boarding vessel. Oh, no, I don't actually want to research that. The fire ship. Maybe I do. And then the artillery ship. All the factions have those 3 ships, and that's it. Because the whole idea is
Hope
that...
you like the Navy.
Yeah, there's a whole minor faction that only lives on the water, the Fomorians, and we're essentially taking their technology to make the boats. Though if we research a shipyard, we can still have our units embark, like in Civ. At the moment, they can't. But
Gotcha.
if I had that tech, I could at least get a Volter-looking ship for the unit.
I was gonna say, it doesn't seem like there would be much use if your units, or if your only thing is doing naval combat. But I guess inevitably other units would have to wander in there at some point.
Yeah, and usually I should get this shipyard tech earlier than I have, but I haven't really discovered much of the continent to begin with. Oh, yep, see, there you go. There are some units.
Hello.
And they're gone. Someone had a question for me. Do you know if they have a viable release date for when the remake of Daggerfall is supposed to be brought out? I didn't even know they're making a Daggerfall remake.
Well, if you had to guess, when would you say it was coming?
If it's Daggerfall, that's Elder Scrolls, isn't it?
Your guess is as good as mine, but I'm gonna say yes.
Well, that means it's Bethesda, which means they're probably too busy working on the next Elder Scrolls game to work on that, so you're probably not going to get it until 2030. But the good news is that the other Elder Scrolls game will be out 2028.
What about their other one, their space one that's coming?
Oh, Starfield, the game that
Starfield,
I haven't seen jack about.
The game that's very real and totally happening.
Yeah, the tax write-off.
Trust me, she just goes to a different school, but she exists.
Aside from like that pre-rendered thing during E3, has there been anything else on Starfield?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't have high hopes about that.
I won't pretend I've been following it, so there very well could have been, but that's the last thing I saw.
Oh yeah, and then but we'll have one more round of Skyrim coming out on everything.
Yeah. It's a new microwave you can play Skyrim on.
Yeah, like some smart TVs and microwaves will now be able to play Skyrim. I got one copy of Skyrim back when it first came out. I couldn't play it on my PC, and it's still sitting here in my Steam library with like 10 minutes of playtime on it.
What?
Yeah.
Oh man, have you never played Skyrim?
No, really. I've seen a lot of it been played, but I've never personally played it.
That might be something that would be fun for you to play for the channel, because I feel like that's something that everyone has touched at some point, so everyone would have thoughts and input on it.
Okay, chat, how would you feel about me playing Skyrim for like the first time? It wouldn't be like a blind playthrough, but it would be like the first time I've personally played it.
Just seems like a mountain of content just sitting there.
It wouldn't even be the anniversary edition. It would just be whatever the first copy of it was. Yeah.
Elder Scrolls.
Does it look like ass?
Because let me think. I got it on PS3, which I think was infamously like the worst version of it. But it's all I had at the time. Eventually got a PC. Got it there. And then at some point got it again on PS4. When like, I want to say like the Complete or Collector's Edition or something came out. And then got it on Switch. So I've gotten it 4 times?
10 gold, 10 quicksilver. Well, I have that. How much is the gold?
Give me the gold.
There, now watch me kill your friends. Because they're not gonna go away. There we go. I'm a monster.
Welsh, I definitely thought the Switch version was fine. Not like amazing, but still think I put probably like 30-ish hours into it because I could just play it on like an airplane and stuff, which was pretty cool.
All right, well, I guess that'll be something I'll check out later this month if it looks like the streaming well's running dry.
Yeah, if something opens up in your schedule.
Because I actually
like this
put a lot of
little,
hours into Oblivion when it came out, because I got that for the 360.
Skyrim was like the first Elder Scrolls game I really played. I had friends who I think showed me Oblivion, so I like messed with it a tiny bit.
Oddly enough, while I was lazing about this weekend, I was watching someone's 12-hour quick retrospective on Oblivion.
There you go. Getting yourself primed. Dark Mechs, this looks like Humankind because it's from the same people.
Yep.
I believe.
It's Amplitude Studios, who pretty much were doing everything in the Endless universe until they made Humankind. Because they made like 3 4X games, then a roguelike, and I feel like they made one more game in this universe. I forget what it was, though.
Likely some other 4X game. So during this phase of the game, what are we looking to do? Are we just still kind of expanding mode?
It's kind of expansion and consolidation. I'd like to get probably 2 more cities, especially since we have 2 enemy factions to our south.
Our southern border does seem like it's starting to get pretty crowded.
Yeah, the problem is now an Urkon showed up and is essentially squatting on Yith.
Yes.
Ideally, because the problem is each terrain type kind of has a special production. If it's green, it's probably providing food. If it's deserty, it's giving you dust. If it's volcanic, it gives you industry, and if it's ice, it's science. So what our natural expansions here are purely science-based. You can see more science than anything else. So I'd like to put a city probably here to kind of round out our position on the continent. But for the most part, yeah, the early game is putting key cities and locations, making sure you have access to either the sea if you want to build out your navy, or you just have good tiles to exploit. It's the mid-game where you start building up armies and playing offensive or defensively against the other major factions.
Mm-hmm. Can we expand like our kind of southwestern borders there a little bit to like get rid of that gap between us and our neighbors?
Yeah, we could get RM. So the thing that would make me not want to put a city here though is that because it's so narrow, it'd be really hard to exploit a large region of the territory, because each district which exploits the tiles around it has to be contiguous with the city center. So if, like I said, I put a city here, the only way to exploit the tiles down here would be to like build build a district, build a district, build a district, build a district. It's like you have to like daisy chain the city all the way down here, or start building down here since this actually looks like it's the larger portion. Honestly, this whole region is just very badly shaped. I wouldn't want to put a city here. Yeah, I wouldn't want to put a city here unless I specifically just wanted to force enemies to attack it instead of Grizzlark or Iacon.
Does this game have like any sort of loyalty function? Would there be a reason for us to not claim a city, like say whatever that region was that was like south of us, but there's like a neighbor between us?
So there is espionage mechanics that mainly attack your approval rating, and if the approval rating starts heading down to 0, the city isn't going to revolt, but it'd be very less productive. Like you're not going to be able to build much on it, and I don't think it changes your like whatever resource gathering you're getting from the city, but it becomes kind of a lame duck. You're not able to use it to contribute to your armies or other production. I take city spaces out of spite. I wouldn't fault you for that. Like I think that's definitely how the necrophages play. They're just plop down wherever they want to be and then gobble, gobble, gobble. You know, like bugs, not turkeys.
Imagine if you heard a spider gobble at you.
Yeah, that would be terrifying.
How much scarier would spiders be if they had a noise they made when they crawled at you? Or would that make them less scary?
It does depend on the noise, because if they made
part of it is their stealthiness.
Yeah, the fact you can see it crawling towards you without making a noise, I think is very scary. If it was a gobble, that may be too silly. I may find that more amusing than terrifying.
Spiders coming and descending upon you. I never like how in science fiction movies, whenever it's a giant bug, it always like screeches. Like, are they doing that and it's just so small we can't hear it?
You know what? I feel like that's why we built those massive soundproof rooms, was to test to see if these animals made sounds.
And I feel like
I feel like there was actually a story once where they did it for like an ant to see if it made noise, and I think they proved that it did. I'm not sure if they did it for a spider.
Like, I can imagine, like, a lot of clacking and clicking from all of the pieces of exoskeleton scraping on each other and, you know, mandibles or whatever. But, like, I guess I don't think of them as things with, like, any sort of vocal cords that would go, like, or whatever they do when they're giant.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me of this part in Baldur's Gate 3 where you find this satchel that's protected by some spiders, and you're thinking, oh, it's just like little, you know, whatever spiders make those cobwebs, and like, that's not too scary. And then you fail the animal handling check, and you have dog-sized spiders suddenly pop out and start fighting. You're like, that's not what I thought was in there.
You didn't tell me that these were just lying in wait. I thought they were.
You know, luckily that's when you throw out the fire bombs, and you know it's hard work, but everything's safe. All right, let's take a look at our robot, because we finally got that tech. Ooh, he's a big boy.
Now that's a cool guy.
Yeah, we're gonna build a couple of these.
I feel like he needs a hat, though. His head looks a little expensive.
Well, so the Mazzari was actually a faction I didn't touch upon in the faction list, mainly because they're just vaulters with another skin for their units. I think their Titan may look better. I can't remember. So sorry, I deprived you of the cooler looking Titan for expediency's sake. All right, you guys are already making an army. All right. Oh, unfortunately, it looks like someone built the other Wonder before we could finish it. The one that kind of looked like a big curved spire.
We were beaten for a Wonder.
Oh, and speaking of, oh, I'm busy. Minimize.
Go away.
Yeah, I don't want both those to be turned on. I'm gonna pray away. So the one thing you can do when you build an altar of Ariga is that you can also try and pick what the winter effect is, because as winter goes on, it actually gets more and more negative effects, and the next one is going to be less regeneration on our units. But I prefer that over less income. Alright, you guys fight. Good, they died. Moving on. So now I'm over here in the Wild Walkers territory again because I need to find a village and destroy it. Nope, Urkon's moving. Bye.
Get out of here.
Capture or destroy this. Oh, they want us to destroy the city. I thought they wanted us to capture or destroy one of the villages. So the minor faction over here wants us to destroy this city. Which would be an interesting thing to do halfway through the stream. I'm just not sure I can do it. I'm not sure but then again, I'm not sure I'm a fan. I don't like these guys being here. So maybe this is something we should do. Should we declare a war on the elves, guys?
I like the idea, but what does chat think? They've never wanted us to be violent or belligerent before.
I'll just go ahead and park this army here just in case. Look, they even got they got a little war.
Not saying we're gonna do anything with it, but just remember it's there, you big dumb thing. That is a big monster. Is that something we're gonna have to fight? That looks hard.
Yeah, that's actually one of the minor faction units. It looks like when they colonized this place, they assimilated them, and then they built one of their units.
I guess we got scary hydras. I'm forgetting that.
I'm trying to build one, but it's not going to be ready for a few more turns, so...
Maybe we wait?
I can besiege the city. Declare war. War declared. Now besiege the city. There. Much better. So we don't have to fight, but... Now,
eliminate them!
Now they're losing fortifications, which will make it easier to attack the city. Because each city comes with a militia, which means whenever you're fighting a battle around the city, they get reinforcements. But if their fortification goes down, these units start to die.
Okay.
Hey, our first ship's done. And they decide to attack us. Odds are not in our favor. I could take manual control, but I feel like that would be a lot of time spent for not a lot of rewards, so I'm gonna go ahead and auto it. Yep, everyone died. A lot of them died too. So our hero, luckily, like I said, heroes don't die. They're functionally immortal. So what our leader is doing...
Heroes never die. They just fade away, Quinn.
So what Petrov did over here was pop into our academy, which luckily we have enough deaths to just go ahead and heal them back up. So once the army I'm building at Iacon is done, I can just send them right back out. And in fact, you know what? I have so much money, go ahead and rush production on those two. Because if I attack them fast enough, they may not be able to replace the army I just destroyed. Oh, but winter set in.
No! Winter! It came and went!
Oh, okay, I get... Oh, game! Get it! Windows everywhere!
Things are popping off.
Alright. Let's go ahead and build another... little thing here. New army. Go ahead and pop Petrov back on and march. Oh, actually, I did want that. Give me. Oh, I don't have enough? Fine.
The winter, it becomes too cold.
Grant, how long has it been since you shoutcasted a match? It doesn't have to be like melee, just any sort of match.
Oh man. Not counting any time I've streamed and just talked over myself playing something. I think there was an anime convention or a gaming convention we went to where I got to do a match of fighters for a tournament, and that was really fun.
All right. Wow, the odds are not in our favor, but here's what I'll do. I'll set this to spectator mode,
Cool.
so all the units
Okay.
will move on their own, and then I'm gonna run to the little ruler's room.
Okie doke.
And you can try and shout.
No,
cast
I see where we're
battle.
going. I like this. I'm ready.
All right.
This is my audition. All right, folks. It's another one of the season's classic games. Archers versus big furry idiots. They go. Or wait, hold on. They're shooting their arrows first. Nice, a strong, solid first hit. As the axemen move forward to assert their dominance and attack the big furry monster. Dumb things. Oh, a brutal strike. It's going to be a tough hill to climb for these competitors now, but I think they've still got it in them. A major strike from long-range attack as the Hydra moves in for the kill. Incredible damage to both adversaries, though not enough to fell one of them. Soldiers are readjusting, changing positions. Ready for an attacking stance, getting into the aggressive mood. The spears, they go a-thrusting. But it's to no avail as the axemen rally themselves. But alas, the archers attacking from far beyond. Too much for them to handle. And the big furry idiot knocks his head clean off. The Hydra isn't done with its rampage. It floats like a butterfly, stings like a bee. Big furry grotesque attack. Not super effective, it doesn't look like. The shock troopers move in, ready to kill the Hydra. It's a bloodbath. The Hydra tries to stand its ground, but the arrows are too much. One for every head. Blood has been spilt this day, but the hero stands strong, stands firm, knocking their shield, ready to attack. Oh no! The soldiers who were lying in wait, who thought they were safe, completely destroyed. This giant beast knows no peace. Another orphan created on this battlefield. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, the humanity. This reporter has lived through some of the darkest days in man's history, and this war surely shows that we have not come far from our terrifying early origins. It's kill and be killed in this brutal winter wonderland. There is no Santa here, no elves, no holiday cheer. Just a smash of blood on the ice. As the kill troopers make their way forward, arrows go flying. The frost beast stands fearless in the face of its opposition. Spearmen move in, preparing to kill. Our hero stands her ground, but not to be outdone. The other spearmen ready their charge. No damage. Oh, but the archers strike true. Hero on her last leg drives away the wicked beast that slew so many of her friends. But she didn't have the strength to hold out against the spearmen now, and that's the game!
I was only here for the tail end of that, but that sounded great.
Hey, thanks.
So, I did forget to mention, another thing about fortification is that it actually serves as extra health when you're attacking the units defending the city. That's why you saw that plus 130 pop up on all those units when the battle first started. And that's also why the odds were against it. So they just had so much more health. Southern Vices, thank you for the 5-month resub.
Hey.
So, war's not
Hope
going
you
too
enjoyed the
well,
commentary.
mainly because
Yeah, I think we're losing.
a little bit incompetent there. I think I'm gonna have to cancel our settler plans.
Oof.
And
Jupiter
also,
Jin, more like Winter Dunderland is right.
I'm also gonna edit our units because we've gotten a bit of a tech boost since we started the game.
Upgrade the soldiers.
You know, go ahead and it'll be a bit more expensive to make, but I think it's worth it.
So about the guy's head just makes me laugh.
Yeah, it's very
Okay.
very strong cheekbones.
I want him to be wearing like a little fedora or something. Just... Like, I feel like if this was a different kind of game, I could give him a big baritone saxophone or something.
All right, let's try that. So 2 Marines. Let's make it 2 Titans. Ooh, they're gonna be expensive. I'm gonna try. Definitely gonna be hard to make these guys during wintertime because our income's already down.
Spend money to make murder.
Alright, but we do have 2 ships out and about. So let's go ahead and see what they can find out on the sea.
I see 2 ships come sailing.
Let's have them start over there.
Underwater ruins. Let's get a dive team ready in the dead of winter.
Oh, they'll love it. Very brisk.
We contacted the local polar bears, not the beasts, but the club that likes to go swimming in the winter.
Oh, hold on. How much Quicksilver do we have? Not nearly
By
enough.
Khazar.
Yeah, you can see right here. It's hard to see because of all the white, but it says we need 40 Quicksilver to tame him, but we only have 5. And
That's
because
a
of
little
all
bit
the
less than 40.
yeah, with all the money we spent on rushing these units, we can't buy more from the market.
We spend our money on units so we can't get a legendary unit. Got it.
Yeah, no, Khazar would definitely make the siege of what was the name of that region? Massware easier.
Well, it seems like these supremacist elves might have had a little bit of, something to back up their claims about their supremacy of the
Yeah, I mean,
area.
I got a bit greedy because these archers over here wanted to see me capture a city to prove my strength. I'm like, well, I'll try. And I failed. Luckily, there's no time limit, so I can easily come back and prove myself at a later date.
We'll retreat and lick our wounds and come back at these elves stronger and faster and with more heads. Because we got hydras. See, what I'm thinking is we need to craft just a ton of helmets for our hydra friends.
Well, I have been neglecting the technologies that would let us make special armor for our units using strategic resources, mainly because I was too busy.
Is that really a thing?
Yeah, no. Wrong window. These 2 techs here, essentially always the techs that look like weapons on the far right side. They let you. That's one of the ways you can use strategic resources is you research the tech, and back here on the unit screen, extra stuff pops up in these categories where instead of just making stuff out of iron that costs industry, you make stuff out of titanium or glass steel, which has different properties and looks better.
Gotcha.
Shiny.
Ignore the giant floating pearl. They're supposed to do that.
Yeah, we had armies to pick those up, but they're gone now.
They all had to go to stupid war and die like cowards. Anyway, just sailing around up here.
It's cold.
Yo ho, pirate's life, life for me.
What do you want? Oh, they banned us from the market.
What? Just because we went to war with Miswear?
They're mildly jealous of us.
Oh.
Lower
They saw
number
our
of
many
cities. Oh, okay. Oh, so I actually forgot to mention, we do have scores. They pop up when you hover over the end turn button. Let's see, we're at 207. The the elves are at 261, and we have the the roving clans are dead last at 173. So they don't like us because we're just doing better than them.
Well, then, if that's the case, then they've locked everyone out of the market.
So
They
sad.
should be jealous of the people higher than us. Work together. We'll take down the 1%. The stupid swear.
What are those elves buying? They're all vegetarians and naturalists. They're not coming to the market.
You don't get it, nomads. This is what the top want. They want us fighting amongst ourselves.
Who's the top 1% though? The people that control the markets or the elves? I'm not sure
It has to be the elves.
So when you find these larger sea regions, ones with names, but I don't think this one up here has any, you'll find actually these floating fortresses that if you can, they're essentially like minor faction villages, but on the water. You can either attack them or parlay with them. And if you take control of them, they give you specific resources and advantages depending on what buildings are like. You'll see if I find one, but they're different like spokes on it. Well, eventually I'll find it. Jeez.
Yo, and Magellan gonna try and circle the globe. Does this map work that way? Is this
Yeah, no. And we're back.
Fun. Cool.
But it's not. Yeah, it has a definite top and bottom. You can see the ice caps over here.
Yeah, I honestly don't know how you would make that work. I guess in my brain I can't imagine a 4X map that could work as a perfect sphere.
I feel like Civilization 4 tried that. Like if you zoomed out far enough, it started to actually bend back on itself. Maybe more like a cylinder than an actual globe. It's been a while since I played that. Oh, there. Okay, see, there we go. And these are the people that live on those things.
Oh, robot people.
Yeah, so I can either attack it or parlay with it, and once I take control of it, I get the advantages of the listening post and this cargo nexus facility. Whatever the hell that is. I don't want to parlay, though. Just...
Oh. I figured they would be able to beat us, but it looks like we're winning these fights.
Yeah, no, luckily, the garrisons on the floating fortresses always seem really weak, even later into the game. As long as you have a slight tech advantage or numerical advantage, you can steamroll right over them.
Tough to build a strong foundation on water.
Yeah. If you play as the fish people, then it's just no question, because you're able to just churn out. I think they're called boars, so even even the game has a in-joke about it. Oh,
whoa!
Big Bug's back. Still don't have.
Did
now I
move?
definitely can't buy the Quicksilver I need though. Hey, Sisters of Mercy, nice armor. Exposed breasts, but nice armor.
Yeah, not really protecting
maybe
the most critical spot of your body.
Well, Sisters of Mercy, I guess they just don't expect anyone will take advantage. Oh, and also, if you're able to conquer one fortress, you see all the ones that are on that body of water. Oh, man, this one's spread out.
Yeah.
There's one here and one all the way over there. Oh. Age of Enlightenment. Everyone's hitting the smoke.
Yes. We call them knowledge vapors, young one.
And so actually as the eras progress, that's when these little things on the fortresses open up. So this one actually has one more thing to reveal before it's done.
A turbine opens.
Okay, this one looks good. It's got luxury and a strategic resource. So, yeah, we're definitely going to attack you next turn. No hard feelings. Oh, but this one doesn't have anything yet. But also it isn't garrisoned by much, so die.
Destroy it!
Oh man, the oceans on this are really spread out.
Thank you, our anonymous gifter, for gifting Blood Realm X a sub.
No, what do you... No, don't... What? Attack. Just attack
I want
it.
to look on this side. Wanted to make sure they weren't hiding anything back here.
Alright, what's going on? Where's this? Oh, they got attacked in the water. Oh no, I didn't want to... Oh, I didn't want to manual fight it. Crap.
Let's do it. Let's
all
see
right,
how
you
ocean combat works.
Everyone stack up. And then we're done.
Rally boats! Destroy that little speeder.
Yeah, they're fire ships, so they literally blast fire.
Wow.
And we're done.
There we go. Pirate's life. Life for me.
Oh.
Oh.
Time for a dust eclipse. More loving going on. Alright. Actually, if I'm already having you guys go over there, then maybe it'll be worth just... Yeah, you guys stick in there for a little bit. Yeah, just protect it. Gonna have you guys swing by, attack that, and then also grab that. We'll be done.
We'll swoop in, cover the ocean. The vultures realized the answer wasn't on land, it was in the sea!
You guys also start building some units. Oh, especially since it looks like... Is that... Oh, ooh, it's a six... It's a six-person
unit our way!
We definitely need to make sure our armies are bigger, so let's go ahead and get that. Speed up production of that. Put that guy over there. Put that guy over here. You're fine. When is our hero going to be ready? 5 more turns.
No!
While you're resting, let's give you some more. Let's give you some better weapons.
Another anonymous gifted sub for Dimension Satire. Thank you, you shy, kind person, you.
Ooh, that's a nice looking shield.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, sadly the weapons do show up on the model, but the armor doesn't change their appearance. Oh, I have to pay money for this. What am I thinking? Alright, reset. I'll come back to you. Because I think the battle's going to break out next turn.
Nah, they just sent that guy to look.
They sent 6 guys. Luckily they didn't send a hero unit, which would have been a real problem, but... Alright. Alright, now we got control of this ocean, which means now
nice.
It lights up like it's... just like a region. Oh, what is this? We got a Florida situation going on right here.
Little peninsula.
Alright, go ahead and rest in here, because you took a lot of damage during that fight. Alright,
Just a big blue monster wandering the countryside.
new army, so you're able to make the settler now. Also make that. Nope. If I attack it, I could have help with the militias of both cities. But I'm not sure what it's planning on doing right now.
It's gonna steal our pearl.
No, it's not.
Whew.
Alright, go back to
See, look at him, he's mad!
Alright, go back to our hero. I think it's more important to upgrade your weapons. How about chestplate? Alright. Alright, we can put you right back in. Attack! Oh, next turn!
Hold fast! Blood Realm saying, I'm surprised you're building a settler instead of finishing up this little war.
I really want to claim Yith.
Expansion.
I mean, I know it'd be vulnerable, but I really want to. What are you? Oh no, are you going? Oh no, they're trying to tame the Urkon.
They're getting the beast.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna this.
Oh, giant quicksilver bug.
This has to be stopped, and luckily there's a big choke point right here, so maybe that'll come to our aid. All right, you know what? Let's spectate this one. Oh, they just retreated, cowards.
Yes, run.
Ugh. But they didn't move. I hate that. It's like, oh, we didn't give battle. Like, well, you're still there, which means you can immediately get to Khazar.
It's like you went to fight him, and they went, "No, you didn't." Like,
no. Very much a
we
Bugs
refuse.
Bunny. Yeah, just a Bugs Bunny.
You
No.
can't declare war if the other side doesn't agree.
Jerks.
Those are the rules.
All right. How's this? They haven't healed it up at all, have they? Oh, they've done a bit better. Next turn. Good to attack them before they can move. Attack, 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 attack. I don't care. No, go! What the? Oh, they attacked him. They didn't try to tame him. They just attacked him.
Did they die?
I think they died. Okay, quick, quick! Yeah, go!
Their army is gone.
Hold on, what can I do down here? Yeah, let's go ahead and boost our dust production for a bit.
I can't believe we went to war with the legendary bug beast and died. After our victory against the Voltas, we thought it would be easy, said the King Elf.
That's why you got too cocky! Alright, now's the time I think I want to bust these guys out. New army. Start heading over there. Can we get back in the market yet? Alright, what do you want? 312 influence?
Woo!
Ugh, well, I can just declare it, which means I immediately get let back in, but geez, that's 3/4 of our influence. I'm not doing that yet. I'm not desperate for the money. I'm not desperate for the... Oh, come on! Now what? Now they sent a hero.
Hey.
I wonder if I should just, like, attack their city while they're distracted. Maybe that'll bring them back. Oh, get out of the way, you.
I.
Jerk.
Just standing guard.
They're probably going to attack Grizzlark. Either that or they're going to make another beeline for the Urkon.
Well, did the
Oh,
Urkon
okay.
move?
Moved. Oh.
Yeah, they're backing off.
Ah, but the
they don't want none of
Fomorians-
this.
Looks like the Fomorians attacked one of our strongholds. Yeah. And that's the problem. If you don't garrison the building, you can just easily take it back. Oh man, there's a lot of you guys here. That's not gonna end well for us. I'm gonna retreat. I'll rather fight you guys on my terms than lose another army to this city.
Live to fight another day.
Oh wait, that's right. You guys, the settler's been made. Move over here. Oh, really? Oh, come on!
Huh.
I have to take control of this one because the settler kills himself each time this happens. Yeah, no, I need you to be as far away from these guys as possible. Let's try over here. Okay, yeah, no. If you're settlers, you don't fight, you run. You two fight. Okay, now you're busy doing that. I'll take a look at this. No.
Attackment!
See, and this is what I hate. If you auto-resolve a battle with a settler, the settler will die
Settler
because
always runs in and kills itself.
Yeah, the settler always wants to try and fight, and so it dies, and it's not fun. All right.
I'm a part of this war too.
Yeah, I can help. Blech. Wait a minute. Are they stuck on that plateau? How are you getting up there? Oh, never mind. Point withdrawn. But this whole time they're just gonna get shot at. Stop attacking. Just stay there.
Ooh. Defend. Retreat.
Now it looks like they have poison arrows. Oh, but they're weak as hell.
Hey. I don't want that direct conflict.
Yeah, no, they have the high ground, but I don't think that'll save them.
We took the high ground to avoid these kinds
No,
of
what are you doing? Get back behind that cliff. Suicidal settlers. Nice thrust. Killed all three of them in a line.
That's some good stabbing, boys. I don't like their death sound.
Yeah. I think they're like cat people, or I don't know. Turn around. I can't see. I can't make anything out of that, but I'm getting something definitely Asian inspired. You go here, and you're done. Stop. Whoa. Stab. Good job, Militia. Your sound effects are really loud. Alright, now that you're done with that, let's try settling. That's pretty good. But it puts you really far away from the water. How about here? That'll do. Alright, that, then do that, then that, then that, and you're done. And the problem is the archers here aren't going to be friendly with me until I take this city, and that seems to be really difficult right now.
The city does not want to be took.
Yeah. Maybe when I get the army expansion it'll be working, but not sure how long that's going to take. Oh, speaking of you, can you attack this base? Do it.
Take it.
Alright, now come over here. Nope. They're not idle, they're moving.
Just walking my way back to town. Don't mind me.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you kind of in the center position here.
In case the elves send more troops.
They probably will with the three armies they had sitting here. They came ready to fight. Kind of lost our moment of surprise when I blew the first attack. Is it time for a TFS strategizes segment with open Q&A? Uh-oh, looks like an Urkon got tamed. Who tamed it? Ooh, the wild guys tamed it. That's what I was afraid of.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Which means it's probably negatively affecting the city. Yeah, I know. I thought about buying a hero to govern the city, but I'd have to kowtow to the...
Those damn nomads.
You know what? Fine. There. Let me back into the market.
We want your influence, see.
So I can buy heroes from several different factions. So I can buy a Broken Lord, which will actually let me heal using dust.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah. But the problem is I can't afford any of these heroes right now. They're all too expensive.
We paid all of our money to get in the damn market.
Cisco Shark, thank you for the Prime sub.
Yo.
So now that we're actually getting close to the 2-hour mark, I might take you over to my other save, just so you can see what a more late game looks like.
Sure, I do feel like we're kind of not exactly stalemating, but
yeah, no, it's
slow war of attrition here.
It's definitely going to take a few more turns to build up the forces I wanted to build up to attack the Wild Walkers, and that's going to be what, 30 minutes of shooting the shit.
We talked about avoiding conflict this campaign, since combat in this wasn't your thing, and it found us anyway.
Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and save this. Gonna lazy save it. Let's see, and then we'll load.
So this is you playing the other guys.
Yeah, no, this is actually me playing as the elves to add insult to injury.
Traitor.
I know. I'm secretly an elf sympathizer. That's why I botched the war.
Can't believe it. We have history showing that our great leader was once an elf himself. The vaulters all gasp.
So winter's back.
All right.
Biggest thing here, as you've noticed, I only have 3 cities. I haven't even though actually, you know what? We ended that turn at 103. It's 134 in this game, so
okay.
not that much of a difference. I got a little bit of ocean territory here, but that I'm still fighting that out with the Fomorian kind of, I don't know what you'd call them, armies that are roving around. The thing is, this map actually only has 5 empires on it, but it's made for 8, so there's a lot more room to breathe. In fact, I've only met...
Big, empty, desolate areas.
Yeah, I've only met the Mazari as the other faction that live over here. But the Urkon are starting to be tamed, and ultimately the goal would be for me to kind of build the empire across this gulf here, and then use that to kind of project armies down south, or to the... east or west, depending on where you put the compass, to deal with the Mazari. So there's not much difference here. In fact, I think I'm in still the same tech era. Yeah, I'm a few techs away from the 4th era. But, not sure what I would need to specifically show you here. This is what a built-up elven city looks like, I guess. If you
do you have any of like the legendary units or whatever?
I do have. I don't think I had gotten like the tree golem unit yet, but I do have a demon.
Whoa, that guy looks cool.
Yeah, this is the Kazani, I think, one of the minor faction units. Oh, but at least I did have it researched. This is what they're.
Ooh.
ultimate unit looks like.
That's pretty fun.
It's not that different from the Titan, though. It's actually just a large infantry unit. So, you know, the Vultures and the Wild Walkers have a lot in common.
You assimilate any minor factions?
Yeah, that's how I got the demon.
Oh,
units.
that's the demon. Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
but I only have the one. I have room for another, so maybe. Yeah, I can get the haunts. I can get ghosts.
Ooh.
There, I got ghosts.
There you go. You got a real spooky theme going.
Yeah, I got this.
Wow. I like that guy. Just, you know, he's chilling out. Just likes his little robe.
Yeah, so that's your kind of 2-hour look into Endless Legend.
All right.
I do recommend the game if you liked what you saw. You know, it's kind of pricey to get all of the factions, but you don't have to get all the factions right away.
It's true. I will say, I don't know, maybe my head wasn't in Humankind as much, but I feel like I understood what was going on in this game a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, there's, especially when it comes to stacking the different cultures together, Humankind is definitely, it feels more complicated, even though I feel like it handles combat a lot better. Mm-hmm. So honestly, between the two, I'd still prefer Endless Legend over Humankind.
I can get it. And I do really like its aesthetic, I guess.
Yeah, and especially when you zoom all the way out and it's just a map.
That's cool.
Although I guess maybe Civilization 6 handled the map motif a bit better with, you know, just fog of war turning into a gray sea. All right. Warblewin, thank you for the 30-on-3 sub, but you resubbed just in time for us to be wrapping up.
Hey.
So I will be back here tomorrow in just about 23 hours with more Great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
Ooh,
And
okay.
then,
Give me a... I haven't played Ace Attorney Chronicles. What's going on in the case you're doing right now?
Well, I just... The case I finished up before the new year was actually the judicial assistant cosplaying as a man to get her friend out of a jam, and that was featuring people that were in the last game. So this is... I just finished the first case of the second Great Ace Attorney game. The first one I finished, I think, back in early December or November.
So the Great Ace Attorney games, are those the ones that take place like in the past?
Yeah, those are the kind of like Victorian era games.
All right. Couldn't remember what attorney.
Yeah, you play as Ryunosuke Naruhodo, an ancestor of Phoenix Wright.
Gotcha. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and it's pretty fun. I mean, it's definitely stretching what limited vocal muscles I have. But
made the mistake of reading everything.
Yeah,
rookie mistake.
Yeah, I was inspired by other people who turned it into a whole like radio drama. I'm like, I want to do it too. But then I ran into someone who I gotta play like this, who plays.
No, he's got 1,000 lines of dialogue. He does.
Yes, it's so much of it's bad Cockney. It's really bad. But hey, Grant, thanks for joining me. It's always nice when we have these little strategy showcases.
Yeah, these are games that I like. I feel like Civ is the only one that I've really ever courted, so it's always fun to get a little peek and see the other ones out there.
Are you going to be streaming anything soon? I know you were talking about getting a more robust schedule going.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what I want my schedule to be and how I want it to coincide with the stuff I do for Team 4-Star. So it's kind of just been a little bit of trying to figure out what one schedule's gonna be so I can build it off of the other. But I'll probably be back with more Civ stuff, and I've been messing a lot with Risk of Rain 2. Has more mods, and I want to show them off.
All right, well, let's see here. Looks like, man, it's so hard to tell. I'm not sure if Nick is wrapping up or if he just started, but I'm gonna go ahead and cross my fingers and hope he just started playing Demon Souls. So let me go ahead and have you guys raid him. And hopefully he raids somebody else if he's just wrapping up. But I hope to see you guys tomorrow, and who knows, maybe Friday I'll dabble in Skyrim. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not.
There you go. Have your voice heard. Do you want to hear him? Do you want to see him play it? Let him know.
Yeah, get in the comments. Bye-bye.